Hello, this is Ryan Michael Galloway with We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com, and today by phone or by Skype I've got Ked of Ked Records. And Ked, you out there, and can you hear me okay?
I can hear you 5 by 5, sir, loud and clear.
Excellent. And you are like way up north of Toronto, Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct, sir. I'm in a little town called Barrie.
Barrie?
It's about an hour. It's about an hour north of Toronto.
Okay. So it's not unbelievably far north, but you're up there quite a ways for most of the people in our whole paradigm about how important it is to be right smack in the middle of things to be a success. You've been a success and done some pretty cool things without necessarily being down in LA or Nashville or even Toronto all that much for that matter. And so first of all, as I told you when we were kind of prepping for this thing, I think that the people that view my videos are going to have an awful lot that they can learn from you over the next series of posts that we're going to do. And I'll just kind of thumbnail sketch it. Ked has got his own record company, and it's not outrageously large. It's probably not all that outrageously small, but it's something that he runs by himself, and he has done indie music successfully for quite a while. He had his first success a number of years ago, about 12 or 13 years ago, if I get, well, I'll make that 10 or 11 years ago, if I got that story straight. No, 13.
Yeah, it was a band called Big Blue Hammer. It was a bunch of guys from Hamilton, Ontario, where I lived, which is about an hour west of Toronto. And I started the band there. It was pretty much motorsports driven, you know, sort of a ZZ Top type feel. And one of the tunes I wrote was called Thunder in the Distance, which is all about one of my favorite motorsports, and that's drag racing.
Let me stop you for just a second, because that niche, that thing that you already have a passion about, that pairs with your talent or your talent and passion for music, is going to be a key thing that we hit upon. Because what I think you've done that a lot of people don't think about, Ked, is you've figured out a way to exploit a niche, do niche marketing, so to speak, and you've made that really work for you. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, that's a fair assessment. I will agree with that.
Okay, so that's why I want people to listen to this, is because a lot of people have got a lot of things they're interested in besides just their music, and if they can combine one of their other passions, you know, often you can get too fragmented when you have too many passions, but if you got a couple that you can make fit together, like anything from
cars and guitars.
Cars and guitars. I could see cooking working. I could see. I've already seen flying working with somebody like Livingston Taylor, who's a pilot, and he's also happens to be James Taylor's brother. And he came out with a flight-oriented CD that was built around the anniversary of the first flight, as an example. So all these different things that you might get into and combine with your two interests can really do something magical, and you made that happen. So tell us about that first success about 13 years ago with Big Blue Hammer, and you know, you did a motorsports song. What happened with it, and more importantly, how did you get that, you know, out? That's the hard part. What did you do to make that work?
Well, when you're dealing with a niche market, you have literally a closed loop of people that you're dealing with. Probably, you know, 100, 200,000, maybe 300,000 or 400,000. Instead of aiming on the millions, I kind of went, okay, this is a smaller group of people who are motorheads. They love anything to do with, you know, music in general. And despite, you know, whether it might be heavy on one side or some country flavored stuff or something down the middle, they love their music. So the cool thing was, as I figured, okay, I've written this song and it's all about drag racing. It's got all the monikers, it's got all the tags, it's got all the right, it's got this, it's got everything. So I started banging on doors at the National Hot Rod Association.
Okay.
And I was going to do some stuff with the then Diamond P Productions. They were going to use parts of the song in a show they titled Thunder in the Distance, which is what I was inspired by in the first place, watching it on TV. And eventually I got sort of on the same door as a fella at NHRA. And
at NHRA, that's the National
Hot Rod Association.
Okay.
That's the big dogs of drag racing. Top Fuels, Pro Stock Bike, Funny Car, and it's, you know, the attendance is in the millions per year. So I thought, okay, you know, I'm going to bang on some doors. So away I went at the NHRA, and I found out that they needed to do this. So I went and shot a bunch of video footage at a local drag strip, submitted that to their producer, and the producer then assembled the music and my band playing live on the drag strip
Cool.
into a collage, into a video that's about 5 minutes long or so. And they used it on the gigantic Winston Vision screen at the time, it was called. It's about 60 by 60 feet, and it shows instant replay. So when they had an oil down, they would play the video. So then I was allowed to market into that market, and I sold quite a few CDs at a fair price.
How did you do that? How did you?
I was there at about maybe 7 or 8 events over 2 years.
Great.
And I just get a booth and sell my product. And then they always use the video, so you know they would announce it on the air and so on and so forth, and people would come around, and you know I had a copy of the video playing on a little TV screen, and I was there to sign, so it all worked out very well.
Perfect. Perfect. At each event, did it build, or did each event sell just about the same amount of
It was about the
CDs?
same every event.
Wow.
Everything, it was about, you know, well, you figure average attendance over these events is anywhere from 100 to 150,000 people.
That's a target-rich audience, is what we call that. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So I was hoping for at least 10%. I thought that would be, you know, that per race in attendance. If I made 10% of that, I was going to be pretty happy.
Oh yeah.
Some places I did way better than 10%. Other places I did my 10%. So I always, you know, went in there with as many copies as I could, you know, manage, and I would sell it that way.
Wow. You know, we've hit a time mark that's a little long here, and I would like to come back for another post tomorrow night, Ked. You up for that? Can we close her down right now and go into the next segment?
All right, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am with Ked of Ked Records, excuse me, and I'm Ryan Michael Galloway, of course, of We Don't Need No StinkingRecordCompany.com, and right now we're finding out exactly why we don't need one. So we'll be back tomorrow night. Thanks.